Well, it's really nice to see that you're all still here. Really appreciate that. We must be doing something right.
Oh, there's no on the telly.
So we've some songs from your local area, and from my local area, there's a true story about the last highwayman who was hanged in England. His name is James Snooks. Yes, I've got that right, James Snooks. And he was the last highwayman to be hanged in England, and he happens to be, I think it was a tree that he was hanged from.
The scene of the crime.
The scene of the crime, not far from where we live. So, of course, we were compelled to write a song about it. And this song is called Newgate Band.
I am the dark. Thank you very much. We're going to do a song. We played at Berry Folk Club last night, and I'm going to play it in the right key tonight. But I thought after about the first verse,
It wasn't massively.
daggers coming from this direction. It's a song about emigration. It's called Widow and the Cruel Sea.
Hope comes in as you're sitting low. They've had a good day's fishing with a catch to show. Something's wrong, I can clearly see. Two fishermen when there should be three. Oh, please God, let it not be me, a widow made by the cruel sea. But as the oars touch the sand, I run up looking for my man. When all my fears are realized, they said a big sea pulled him on the side. And my heart felt sorry for your loss. He was the fine young man that ever was. I wish that I could leave this place, break free of my widow's chains, and in the new world across that sea, an American I'd like to be. And I'm one man, it's just 1 year, and a woman can do what she wants round here. My dead man's brother holds the key to what life has in store for me. And the men would talk, I'd hear him say that he would leave if he could one day. So I became a brother's wife, and I can't complain for he treats me right. I know his heart, he knows my mind, and he promised we will leave in time. I used the gifts that God gave me, keep him sweet as a man can be. I wish that I could leave this place, break free of my widow's chains, and in the new world across that sea, an American I'd like to be. 2 years on and across that sea, when I lost my boy to malady, we settled here in Portland, Maine, and soon I'll have a child again. Scotland is where we came, now we're all Americans. I wish that I could leave this place, break free of my widow's chains, and in the new world across that sea, an American I'd like to be. And in the new world across from, but we've had James Snoot, the highwayman, and also not far from where I live was a highwaywoman. And you might have heard, in fact there's been some films made of her. Her name was Catherine Ferrers. And yeah, so she...
Don't watch the 80s Michael Winner one.
No, really don't. But it's a local story to be, and of course, again, felt compelled to write a song about this, and it's called The Wicked Lady.
The horrors of the English Civil War.
Lost in merriment, she's 14 to her own stepfather's heir. She raised good coin for King Charles, spent her money for the family there.
Catherine chose to live outside the law. Near Margate Hill you'll find a well, near that well a tree. The legend says that's where the treasure be. She soon fell for this young knave.
When he was hung for robbery, Catherine turned hostile, slaughtered cattle, houses burned, revenging her empire.
She was bound to follow to the grave. Near Margate Hill you'll find a well, near that well a tree. The legend says that's where the treasure be. The shots came from inside.
With fatal wound she fled the scene, heading for the south. She was found dead next day by the staircase where she fell.
She would terrorize my night no more. Near Margate Hill you'll find a well, near the well a tree. The legend says that's where the treasure be. Near Margate Hill you'll find a well, near the well a tree. The legend says that's where the treasure be. Lady by day, devil by night, Catherine cheated her own birthright. Lady by day, devil by night, reign of terror, the golden lights. Lady by day, devil by night, Catherine cheated her own birthright. Lady by day, devil by night, reign of terror, the golden lights. Lady by day, devil by night, Catherine cheated her own birthright. Lady by day, devil by night, reign of terror under cold moonlight.
Well, this one will cheer you up.
I just want to apologise there, but I did that a lot faster than I should have done. Got a bit carried away.
It was done as fast as she rides her horse, actually.
No, it's this a stretch of road going to a lovely pub that's called the Wicked Lady, obviously named after her. And it's this really flat, straight bit of road, and there's innumerable accidents, unexplained accidents on it, and people say it's because her ghost still rides around there. That's true. There's always sad memorials, flowers in the verge.
Oh, I'd like to say we'll keep it light now, but actually we're not.
Yeah, oh, yeah, this is... Hang on. Yeah, this is the dark side. We like a bit of that, don't we? Ah, right, it's that one. Oh, yeah. This is dark. Right, this was... You want to do this one? No. Well, we went to play a gig in Shropshire last year, and we went to this story of a sin eater, and we'd never heard of a sin eater before, and it was
Not Simon Cowell's ex-girlfriend.
right. That's it. And if we'd never heard of a sin eater, and apparently a sin eater was someone that would eat a small meal and say a prayer over the body of someone that had died without confessing the sins. It's pretty grim. And it was normally down and out, someone down on the luck, and they'd get a shilling and the small meal. But this guy was the last one in England, and we were thinking, oh, when was it? Was it 1406 or something like that? And it was actually, he died in 1906. And he was a wealthy landowner, but he had 4 children die in infancy, and he took on their sins and then became a local sin eater. And we just found that incredibly sad. And so we wrote a song about him, and we sang it around his grave to him, just a kind of a little nod to his poor man's unfortunate circumstance. So anyway, here we go. I hope you don't mind. It's called Black Heart.
For your soul to save, I'll take your sins to my grave before I'm chased away from your door. But you will call again and say the last amen, but you'll need my services once more. I go by the name of Richard Manslow. My burden, it weighs heavy on my mind. I am black of heart, for I pawned away my soul. I am the last of my kind. So I'll break my bread as you lay down dead. Your body's my table so cold. I'll eat my fill as you lie so still. Your sins will blacken my soul. I'll eat my fill as you lie so still, and your sins will blacken my soul.
I'll give ease and rest now to thee, dear man. Come not down our lanes, nor in our meadows, and for thy eternal peace I will pawn my own soul. Amen. Get a premature adulation going on over there.
Yeah, that's all there.
Right, this next one is well, when you're writing songs, you're always looking around for inspiration, and then sometimes you think, well, you don't have to look very far from home. And this one was one inspired by my granddad, John. And he left school, and the next day he went down he was shown on the mine at 13 years old, and he got caught in the machinery, and he lost an arm, broke his legs, coma. But I still think it could have actually saved his life in a way, because if he'd have had a career down the pit, he might not have passed 40, 50, the dust on his lungs and things. So it's, in a weird way, you don't know, I might not be here if it wasn't for that. And so I thought, yeah, he deserves a song. So,
And for all those miners.
and yeah, absolutely,
Yes.
for all the miners. So I'm going to try not to look at me mum and dad, and this one's called Another Job. School bell rings for the very last time.
Wheels keep on turning.
Next day you're heading for the mine.
Turn forevermore.
Join the line of new recruits.
Wheels keep on turning.
School shoes swapped for hobnail boots.
Turn forevermore.
At 5 o'clock the church bell rang.
Wheels keep on turning.
At 13 years you're now a man.
Turn forevermore.
Joe's gone down in the devil's hole, trapped in the wheels that haul the coal. To them in power who have no soul, always be another Joe.
Your father moved into this town
Wheels started turning.
to
sink a mine shaft underground.
Turn forevermore.
He followed where the old man lay.
Pinwheels keep on turning.
It cost your arm and near your leg.
Turn forevermore.
Joe's gone down in the devil's hole, trapped in the wheels that haul the coal. To them in power who have no soul, always be another Joe. Men below pick at the seam.
Pinwheels keep on turning.
Their bodies ache, their muscles scream.
Turn forevermore.
Their eyes are striving for the
Pinwheels
light.
keep on turning.
In a world where all the day is night.
Turn forevermore.
Joe's gone down in the devil's hole, trapped in the wheels that haul the coal. To them in power who have no soul, always be another Joe. The Iron Lady drew the plan
Pinwheels keep on turning.
to undermine the working man,
Turn forevermore.
destroying opportunity.
Pinwheels have stopped turning.
And the heart of the community.
They will turn no more.
Joe's gone down in the devil's hole, trapped in the wheels that haul the coal. To them in power who have no soul, always be another Joe. Joe's gone down in the devil's hole, trapped in the wheels that haul the coal. To them in power who have no soul, always be another Joe. Joe went down in the devil's hole, where men they used to mine for coal. Cast aside, put on the door, there'll never be another Joe.
Right, this is another story, a song, sorry, not a story, inspired by a visit to Norwich Cathedral a couple of years ago, and walking around the cloisters, we came across this effigy of a skeleton in the cloister's wall, and reading it, all we found out was in 1606, a guy was buried in the walls, standing up, and so the effigy of the tomb's a skeleton. And his name was Thomas Gooding, and he was a stonemason of that part of the world. And I couldn't find anything else out about him, but his stories like that intrigued me. He paid, obviously, a lot of money to be buried in the cathedral wall, because he wanted to be first to heaven in the ones on the other side, yeah. And so that just really intrigued me. So I thought, well, let's fill in the gaps around it, and there's a little nod to Thomas. So it's called, he was obviously a very devout man, so it's called Stand.
Thomas Gooding was a stand-up man, though he took to a knee wherever he can. Always quick to genuflect, though he spends eternity cross his face throughout each day. From morning prayers to evening song, he always stands to sing along. There'll be time for sitting after Judgment Day. Thomas, you'll be standing here for all time. Your mortal frame is buried in the wall. When you died, you took your place at the starting line. Your last race, Thomas, you're ahead of us all. Monuments made for the richer, with fire, sharp and punch and picture. Cathedral, church and stately home, you carved yourself a life in stone. You and your work have stood the test of time. Thomas, you'll be standing here for all time. Your mortal frame is buried in the wall. When you died, you took your place at the starting line. Your last race, Thomas, you're ahead of us all.
And these were Thomas's own words that he inscribed on his tomb.
All you that do this place pass by, remember death, for you must die. As you are now, even so was I. As I am, so shall you be. Thomas, good in here to stay, waiting for God's judgment day. Stand behind your own creation, but watch the lion congregation. Soul resides in God's domain, bones are all that still remain. Reminder of your life forevermore. Thomas, you'll be standing here for all time. Your mortal frame is buried in the wall. When you died, you took your place at the starting line. Your last race, Thomas, you're ahead of us all. Thomas, you'll be standing here for all time. Your mortal frame is buried in the wall. When you died, you took your place at the starting line. Your last race, now the writing's on the wall. Thomas, you're ahead of us all.
Thank you.
There'll be arrangement to the set list.
So this is for me dad, because at half time he says, "You can do one about the monk that jumped off the cathedral." So go on then. So this was again inspired by a trip to a weekend away. It was a trip to the Cotswolds, and went to Malmesbury, and we were going down this country lane one time, and saw this sign saying "Flying Monk Brewery." So, you know, you just screech back.
It wasn't the flying monk that got
And then, so, yeah, sampled a few wares, you know. And then we were in the town and we saw something else related to a flying monk. What's going on here? What's this flying monk? And we went in the museum, and it was all about this guy, Elmer. It was a monk who he studied the stars and he was just fascinated by the world. This was in
11th century.
Yep. 11th century, and he was watching the birds, and he thought he could fly, so he built this some contraption and jumped off the top of Malmesbury Abbey, and he lived.
Silly Billy.
And he wanted to do it again, but the abbot wouldn't let him. But he lived again. They found out he lived into a ripe old age because in his journals he'd written down that he'd seen. Well, it wasn't called Halley's Comet then, but this comet twice in his life. His lifetime, so that's how he could sort of tell he lived quite old. And I just thought, he sounds like a fun guy. So
sounds like a silly guy.
Yeah, but we were looking at this and thinking, wow, that's crazy. Then we went at the abbey. Then you go in it and you realise that the spire had fallen off in about 1500. So it was added another 60, 70 feet on it. It was just insane. So anyway, we thought, this Elmer guy's all right. So I wrote a song about him called Feathers and Wings. So this is for you, Pop.
Saying his prayers as he waits to make his leap of faith. And Elmer's up on the roof again. He's testing the strength of the wind, and then he'll fly, or at least he'll try. Think he's lost his mind. He shows them the models, the plans that he's refined to help him catch the air. He fashions himself a frame, cloth stretched taut. He tries his best to explain, to make them aware. He dreams of feathers and wings, flying high with celestial beams. Elmer's climbing the tower stairs, crossing himself and saying his prayers as he waits to make his leap of faith. And Elmer's up on the roof again. He's testing the strength of the wind, and then he'll fly, or at least he'll try. In the square, arms outstretched, Elmer takes to the air. He's trusting in God, he flies on a wing and a prayer. Before their very eyes, collecting the breeze, Elmer goes by. was a lane, and all that I follow me through, but losing control and crashing down, he knew he'd never walk again. Oh, gravity didn't defy, but Elmer was the first man ever to fly. Elmer's climbing the tower stairs, crossing himself and saying his prayers as he waits to make his leap of faith. And Elmer's up on the roof again, he's testing the strength of the wind, and then he'll fly, or at least he'll try.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Appreciate it. All right, this is our last one. But before we do, I just want to say a few thank yous to, well, you lot for coming. I mean, it's a weird thing when you live 200 miles away and no one knows who you are, and even families who've not heard us or anything like that. So, Mum and Dad had never seen us and wanted to, but they can't travel. When you've got a combined age of 187, no, my maths is terrible, isn't it? 183. They're not that old. We thought, well, why don't we bring it here? And then we thought, where should we do it? Next door, I've got a big front room, haven't they? Yeah, let's have a word. And so we approached Sue, and straight away, really up for it. She thought, it's good, haven't it? And so big thanks to Sue for, she's got such a great open mind about these fabulous places. They are just hearts of the community. And when congregations sort of fall, they still need to be used and maintained. And so we thought, well, let's just hang it in. Everything that we raise will just go straight to the roof fund, which I've been informed it's about $1.5 million. But we can add a little bit of that because there's a really creaky floorboard here. Well, I don't know if we've raised $1.5 million tonight, but we might have enough for a few buckets to catch the rain. But there we go. So thanks so much for coming, and also Sue and Stephen, who's not here tonight, and everyone and Jean and John for spreading the word, and those of you that were corralled by my mother in the street and daren't not come. She's a forceful woman when she wants to be. And people spread the word. People that we've met, and Barry for coming from all, and allowing us to come and showcase a couple of songs at Hull Folk Club and pass the word on. It's much appreciated. Thanks so much. And also to our Davey and Kate for helping set this nonsense up. And it's
Appreciated.
very appreciated. A lot of hard work. So without further ado,
Well, it's our last song, guys, and just very quickly, because it is getting on now, but I did think it would be really nice if Phil wrote a love song. I suggested he tried that, and I actually thought he might write it about me. But he didn't. So he was actually inspired by a tomb in a church. Thank you, Phil. And he will tell you the rest of the story in a very concise way, because it is all in the words.
Yeah, she said she'd write a love song, and it just over my head, that thought.
Yes.
I mean, I do love her.
Oh, this is a man!
We've been together for 21 years, also. But now being the geek I am, I was writing it about a separated couple, separated by war. But again, the geek I am, this war was the War of the Roses. And I was in, and it was I couldn't gel it together. And we were in Long Melford in Suffolk, staying with some friends. And they took us to a church there, because it's just stunning, how it been. But there was a tomb, a knight with a rose on him. And this was a knight that fought in the Battle of Agincourt. And when he came home, he donated his lands and the Guildhall for use for a market to the town, on payment of 1 rose on his term a year. And it's the longest continuous rent in England. And there was one little snag that I wasn't happy with.
Big snag.
Yeah, I said little. And this is great because everywhere I've sold this, you get a bit of or whatever, or someone cheers. But I think we're safe here. The rose was red. So I won't have any of that nonsense. Is there one in? Oh, that image. So anyway, there we go. So there's my geekish love story about a couple separated by a wall. And yeah. Sorry. One bit. You should have died 200 years ago.
Not quite sure I have to take that one for you.
But anyway, yeah, it's called Little White Rose. The geek shall inherit the earth.
Men are loosing their arms, honing their skills with the bow. Fields go untouched now by plough and by harrow. Be no more crops if there's none then to sow. The calling for arms echoes out across the nation. Is fealty the gentry and loyalty driven by rank and by station? I won't fight for title and land. Great armies are forming all over the land. Old Henry they stand to oppose. Men follow allegiances under a flag. My love wears the little white rose. Sweet smell the rose, like lace neath my pillow at my nightly repose. Oh, my heart it grows for the love of the man who gave me the little white
Oh, I am an archer in Edward's great army, travelling my feet awful sore. The soldiers go marching through town and through village, we eat what we can and sleep on the floor. Oh, many lay down in the arms of another, turn their minds from the war, I suppose. Faithful and true, I gave my love my favour. Now she holds my little white rose. Sweet smell the rose,
like lace neath my pillow at my nightly repose. Oh, my heart it grows for the love of the man who gave me the little white rose. We scarce make a meal and our bellies go empty. Armies of ransacked our stores, a pray for an ending to all of this suffering. We're begging by old saints, the wolf at the door. I miss my true love with each day that passes, and daily my fear for him grows. Sit by the fireside, fist clenched in frustration, my tears fall on my little white rose. Sweet smell the rose that I place neath my pillow at my nightly repose. Oh, my heart it grows for the love of the man who gave me the little white
In darkness preparing for battle, silent we wait for the morn. We pray for our souls that will be returning, and send arrows flying at the breaking of dawn.
To the south, I'm awaiting my lover. How long, my God only knows. As time travels on, my hope is eternal. Whisper his name to my little white rose. Many years gone now, I married a good man. My life's fading, my children have grown. My husband beside me to comfort my passing as we share my last breath. I can still smell the rose. Sweet smell the rose that I place neath my pillow at my nightly repose. Oh, my heart it grows for the love of the man who gave me the little white rose. Sweet smell the rose that I place neath my pillow at my nightly repose. Oh, my heart it grows for the love of the man who gave me the little white rose. Sweet smell the rose.
Thank you very, very much.
Really nice, thank you. I forgot to thank everyone thanks for that help and Roy and everyone. Thanks, Helen. It's really good to see.
Well, I have to say that I think we thanks are due not to the church, but to Phil and Debs, because they have given us a truly wonderful evening, haven't they?
Absolutely.
And to me, the most outstanding feature, I'm sorry if I'm naive here, is your degree of harmony.
Absolutely.
Wow,
That's
that
what I was
was
saying
good.
earlier on.
Exactly. Absolutely wonderful, so thank you. I'm sure everybody's had a wonderful evening. I have been looking through the basket with the entrance fees in it, and it is relatively encouraging. If anybody is moved to make a donation, and I hate asking, do you know, sometimes I think the greatest symbol of Christianity is becoming the collection plate. It's no longer the cross or whatever, but there we are. It's the way things are with medieval churches, I'm afraid. We have a beautiful brass collection plate on your left as you go out, and a contact us giving box on your right. And we would appreciate anything. But most of all, we appreciate your presence here this evening. So thank you very much. And one more round of applause.